let me explain a bit of who my dragon is. It might be similar to the dragon that is by your side. My dragon was actually my dragon's relationship was in the beginning actually not that good. In the beginning, my dragon was, yeah, like a dragon is, very harsh and sometimes, yeah, animalistic in our eyes, in human eyes. Even though I was just awakened, I was so confused, I didn't know what was going on. For my dragon, I immediately had to learn at that moment. And it was very harsh at that moment. I was just like having a rebirth. And he was touching my soul where I am vulnerable in. He touched my soul here in the middle of my chest. And every time, it's not doesn't hurt, but it's very, very extremely sensitive. And this is a place where you have it's somewhere on your body that is vulnerable. It's the entrance of your soul. It's where your dragon comes inside and wants to touch your sleeping draconic soul. Even though I don't like it that people sometimes call me some kind of a dragon or a dragon king or whatever. No, I am a dragon witch. I'm a human. I'm a human here with a draconic ability, and this draconic ability is to connect with the dragon and have a dragon soul and our dragon eye that is complete. Um, and so my dragon was actually very fierce, but also after a while, your dragon learns from your humanity. Because sometimes for the dragon, it's also something new for them sometimes, that your human abilities and human behavior sometimes reaches a lot more limits than what a dragon is. A dragon is much more higher. They are divine, they are bigger, they are stronger, they are having their limits are seemingly endless sometimes. And my dragon actually was a very, a very beautiful dragon. Of course, almost all dragons are very beautiful in my eyes. But their soul, it's actually their soul that you can see, and their soul can have many multiple colors. And in the beginning, most of the time, your dragon will have a dark color. It doesn't mean that this is going to be their natural color, but it's their spirit color, you can say. And sure, yeah, in the beginning of my path, my dragon was having a harsh way, like you're going to follow me, and I want to follow him. It's not that I was forced or anything, but my spirit was reaching out for him, and I want to follow him. But the ways, especially in the first year, was extremely harsh. I just saw the dragon realm. I didn't want to say that there was a dragon spirit or whatever, and that I actually pushed the dragon away. This infuriates my dragon, actually, that he even takes my soul out, and that really hurt. That was actually hurt that my dragon did, and he didn't know that. He didn't know that it hurt, but he knocked my soul out of my body, showed me the realm where they live, and I loved it, and I wanted to stay there. And then he pushed me again to this place, and now you know who you are. And that is indeed what I knew, but it was still something, for my human brain. It was too much to deal with, to handle. But my dragon still didn't understand that. After a while, he starts to understand that I had a lot more limits, and these limits are sometimes being reached. It's not because my dragon doesn't love me or anything like it, but he just doesn't understand humanity. Humanity is different, and that it's also just like we learn from them. He has to learn from us as well. Your dragon has to learn from you how you are. And that is the reason why I would never call myself a dragon or anything like it. I'm a dragon witch. Nothing more, nothing less. And that is also what we all are. We are followers of the dragon, living in the shadow of the dragon, and we love our dragons. We are, connected with them, you can say. And that is why we are dragon witches, likely witches, using the energy so that we can be with our dragons. And so we all are different in this. We all have different opinions. We all have different ways, and different dragons as well. So, for example, yesterday I had a conversation with someone who disagreed with my rules or something like this. My dragon teach me some rules, and that is what dragons do. They teach us some rules that we need to understand, that we don't cross that line, because we can make our dragons angry or disappointed or sad or whatever. Of course, their limits are higher, but these limits are reached sometimes. And in the beginning of my path, my dragon was actually very clear with the rules, because my dragon was actually a son of Tiamat, and a son of Tiamat is actually in itself chaos in itself, and that is also what I am as well. That is why I call you my brothers and sisters. You are also a dragon spirit connected from the dragon gods, just the same as me, but we are still human beings with a draconic ability. And we are connecting with our dragons in different ways, a lot of different ways. And yesterday there was a follower of the dragon that was actually very angry with me, very much angry. Why? Because I said what the rules are, what I need to follow, but it made her actually very angry. And I said, why are you angry? I do not need to follow what you are following. I never said that. I never said that you have to follow me. I never said that you have to follow my rules. But these rules, of course, the first rule that I had for my dragon is do not insult them. Do not insult the dragon. Do never insult the dragon, of course. And because we can insult the dragon without even knowing it. Because what do we know from them? In the beginning, I didn't know anything from them. And in the beginning, once my dragon awakened me, it was like he always said, transform, 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 because it was like inside of myself, indeed, I sometimes felt that I was transforming. I was behaving much more like a dragon. And I sometimes, in where all these people are, I had this moment like, I'm becoming it. And that is like, I was losing it. And then after a while, I have my vision again, and seeing all these people, seeing how crazy that I am. And yeah, I'm sorry, because that sometimes happened in the beginning of my path. It was unlike anything else. It was something that I cannot explain in words. The beginning of my path was harsh, but after a while I came to learn, and my dragon came to learn, and we came together. But we need to follow some rules. But these rules, first rule is actually do not insult each other. The dragon does never insult me, the dragon, but I will never insult the dragon. For example, I will never say something like, I will never turn my back on them, on my dragon. And I will also not say anything that he doesn't want to hear. For example, there are some examples. I will keep it for myself. And the second rule, do not never, ever use them as some kind of a pet. And that is also where she was angry for, because she saw these dragons as that you can ride on them, that you can use them like some kind of a horse, like you can bond with them like with a horse. Dragons are not horses. Dragons are not pets. Dragons are not these animals that you can enslave. Dragons prefer to die than that you or humans enslave them. They are free beings, and they will always, and that is the reason why some people of the dragon can also be angry with each other and having a dragon fight, because they are all different. They are not the same. This is not a religion. We can clash with each other. And that is why sometimes I'm actually afraid to come together, because some people might not agree with me. The third rule is do not eat meat. Do never eat meat. And that was just after years after that I was on the dragon's path, that I came to understand to not eat meat. And I said, why not? Because dragons do eat meat. They need to survive, but you don't. You don't have to have these destructions. And that is also what I felt in my draconic soul. These animals that are being slain in a horrible way that humans are doing, I can still feel them. The last thing that I ate from meat, I could feel that soul, and that is what my dragon said. Can you feel his suffering? He's not dead. He's just suffering on another place. Inside of you, you can feel it. And I said, I do feel it. Can you make it stop? You can only make it stop when you just don't eat them anymore. That was harsh, Like I said, my dragon, fierce. He just wants to make me a dragon witch. And that is what he succeeded in. That is, I hope that your dragon succeeds in the same way. So yeah, the third rule is do not eat meat. The fourth one is be kind to nature. Well, because nature is Tiamat, nature is the dragon goddess. Of course, I will be kind to nature. That speaks for itself. I will forever fight against people who want to harm nature. Just the same that I will fight to those people who want to harm animals. Because, for example, because I don't eat animals, because when the dragon would return, they would harm and kill and even eat animals. I mean, dragons. That is also the reason why I don't eat them anymore, because they would enslave, also put them in the zoo. You know, everything that is not human is just being enslaved. And that is horrible. Human beings are monsters. And I don't want to be just like them. Of course, I have to be like them, but as a dragon witch, I'm far away from them. First, the rules: do not insult them, do not use them as pets, don't eat meat, and be kind to nature. So yeah, and don't abuse the dragon. Don't, with abusing, I mean like what the alchemists did back in the day. They didn't understand what the dragon was, but they wanted to have the power of the dragon, so they used the energy of the dragon, tried to use the energy of the dragon, tried to summon them for the secret of eternal life, but they always failed. It's not that you cannot use the dragon, for example, to win the lottery. You cannot use that for anything like it. I only used that when when my mind, when my emotions were at their strongest, like my dad was about to die. That is not abusing your power. That is just helping another. But it's not selfish, and you will never use your power of energy from the dragon for selfish reasons. So yeah, these are the 5 rules, and some people are actually angry with me because I follow these personal 5 rules. But you don't have to be angry for that, because these are my rules that I and my dragon and Tiamat established together. And that is what you need to do yourself, my brothers and sisters. Establish your own rules together with your dragon.